KUAM News, winner of the 2022 Regional Edward R. Murrow Award for Excellence in Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion for the Culture Club.
KUAM News HotSpot is brought to you by Calvo Enterprises, Inc.
Half a day, I'm Nick Delgado. Thanks for tuning in to a brand new Hotspot. Hope your Tuesday's going well and you're staying dry out there. Here's what's in our data drop for today.
Restaurant, always open, always local, and Ruby Tuesday Guam, home of the Fresh Garden Bar.
In this week's health check, we take a look at immunity after getting COVID. Later, we check in with Claire Calvo for another dose of Weekly Renewal. And we continue our 6-part series, Discover Black Heritage, Recognizing Black History Month. And we close out with the House to Home from Remax Diamond Realty. Well, nearly 3 years into the COVID-19 pandemic, the virus is still evolving, and new research showing just how much immunity we're getting after being infected. CBS's Tina Kraus reports from London for this week's Health Check report.
Health Check is presented to you by the Medical City.
Those two little lines can cause plenty of anxiety, but researchers say COVID infections are giving a good deal of protection, too.
Infection gives you a lot of immunity. I think that's the high-level message, particularly for severe disease and death.
A new U.S. study finds natural immunity is strong and long-lasting for people infected with COVID-19 at least once before, giving them up to 10 months of protection from reinfection or serious illness, and lowering their risk of hospitalization and death by nearly 90%. This is the most comprehensive analysis yet on COVID immunity. Researchers from the University of Washington looked at 65 studies from 19 countries up until September of last year. Researchers found people with natural immunity from a pre-Omicron variant saw their protection against reinfection wear off more quickly.
That protection, particularly for infection, dropped a lot for Omicron. So we're down around about 50% protection for infection.
While findings showed a COVID infection gives similar immunity to a double dose of vaccine, researchers say getting a jab is still the safest way to protect yourself.
So you can get immunity through infection, but it runs the risk that you're going to be one of those cases that can affect all age groups, actually, where you have a bad outcome, you end up being hospitalized, or you could even die.
Researchers add COVID isn't going away and say as the virus evolves, vigilance against another variant is crucial. Tina Kraus, CBS News.
It's Tuesday, and that means it's time for another installment of Weekly Renewal with Claire Calvo.
Weekly Renewal is brought to you by Calvo Select Care.
Half a day, I'm Claire Calvo, bringing you your Weekly Renewal. What I'm about to share is my personal story, my own journey in healing. I nor this program or the therapies that I share are intended to diagnose or treat any ailments, so please check with your professional practitioners in their respective fields. And also know that this program over the years has proven to be incredibly helpful for myself and others who have participated. 23 years ago, I was diagnosed with IBS, irritable bowel syndrome. And not much later, polycystic ovaries and a lump was found on my breast. I was living in LA at the time, and I was told by the gastroenterologist that I needed to be on steroids indefinitely. After I was given what felt like the strongest, most potent shot of antibiotics on my bum. I was told that my diet was irrelevant and I didn't need to alter it. I found that to be confusing, and I was also not too keen on lifetime medication. So I decided to explore other methods of health and wellness. Alternative therapies were not new to me. I had regular therapeutic massage and chiropractic care as a professional dancer and fitness instructor. I also tried acupuncture a few times, but I started seeing acupuncturists more regularly who told me about a naturopath who then told me about an energy worker, who shared books on self-healing, everything from Louise Hay to Bruce Lipton and everything in between. There are no coincidences in life. I believe in divine timing and accordance. All these different healing methods made their way into my life without me even seeking them out. There was also a new program in Santa Monica at the time that my sister and I joined together called the 21-Day Detox. It was created by Dr. DeAndrea and John Wood, an MD and an ND. The program was only the beginning of what came to be a deep dive into holistic healing. My sister and I visited OHI, Optimum Health Institute, frequently as well, down in San Diego, and we even went down to the border of Mexico to the William Hitt Center, which is a health and wellness center that offers methods and therapies that were not yet approved in the US. So we tried ozone therapy for the very first time there, as well as other therapies that are still considered on the fringes. Around the same time, it was discovered that I had high levels of heavy metals in my body, everything from arsenic, mercury, lead, cadmium, barium, just to name a few. The doctor was shocked and asked if I worked in a factory, and also inquired where I grew up. He wanted to know where I was raised. And at the time, I didn't realize what Guam was exposed to. I did not know what was sprayed, buried, and dumped on our beautiful island. The Santa Monica doctor did say that he had another patient from Guam with the same high alarming levels. At any rate, I had my first experience with chelation IV drip. There are other ways to chelate heavy metals from the body, but this is obviously the most direct and immediate way since it's straight to the vein. Unfortunately, we still don't have chelation therapy here on island. It's not available, nor colonics, colon hydrotherapy, was something else that I received regularly. But we certainly have come a long way, and we have other amazing methods here on Guam from our Cirujanos. We have Amat, local Amat. But when I moved back in 2004, I was really excited to return home and open up Synergy. But I was a bit nervous that I had to leave this lifestyle of holistic health behind. Granted, at the time, Dr. Hernucci was already practicing, as well as Dr. Youngbird through SDA Wellness. We also had great chiropractors and acupuncturists. And at the time, like I said, we still didn't have colon hydrotherapists, but I also had my raw vegan diet that I stuck to, which was another challenge. We had Simply Foods and nuts and grades at the time, but that was the extent of our options. So if you're wondering how Payless Health Smart items came to be, it was the 21-Day Detox back in 2006 that brought them back. And it all grew from there. Moving home reminded me that if something is not available, you create it, you emulate it, you find a way to make it available. I'd be remiss not to mention our excellent medical doctors as well here on Guam, especially Dr. Wen. I love Dr. Wen, he's the best. But we have different methods, right? We all have different constitutions and different ways of self-care. Especially after these past few years, it's important that we turn to these professionals, but we too take accountability for our health. Explore and see what helps and heals and what doesn't. Everyone's different. Though it's important we have these options here too. And this is what prompted me to introduce the 21-Day Detox back in 2006 to Guam. Dr. DeAndrea came back, as well as John Wood, a few times, but after several years, he handed on the program to me and allowed me, gave me permission to act as its facilitator along with my partner, Lily Regis, at the time. A lot has changed over the years, and my partners and I have added, amended, changed things accordingly. However, the crux remains the same. 3 weeks of complete and total cleansing, mentally, emotionally, and physically. We have our biannual detox coming up in March, and we're partnering with Habibi Catering for the first 2 weeks, and the last week with Ignite. And aside from these the meal plans, so the first 2 weeks it's plant-based, the second week's raw plant-based, and the third week is raw plant-based liquids, we also offer classes at Synergy Daily. Everything from yoga, cardio boxing, dance, Tahitian fit, bar, spinning, among others. The program also includes our services in Crystal Light Healing Bed, Far Infrared Sauna, chakra balancing, Reiki, Diksha, and much more. The 3-week program discourse is March 4th, and the program runs from March 6th to the 26th. So if you are interested in signing up or have more questions, please call us at 472-YOGA, or you could email us at synergystudio671@gmail.com. The first 10 Select Care members who sign up can avail a free spot. If you feel it's time for a jump start, a complete mind and body reset, we'll see you there. Thank you. I'll see you next time on your Weekly Renewal.
Weekly Renewal is brought to you by Calvo Select Care.
Well, coming up, we continue celebrating Black History Month with Discover Black Heritage.
21's MVP, nobody like me. Blessings, 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 all come from life lessons. Wanna know what's next? Keep guessing. Go time, no time for questions. Throw chakra on, show off. Stepping out slow mo, you can see the glow up light. I'm supernova, you know I'm coming for ya.
Buenos Zenhafides. As you all know, our islands had a very successful year. And I'd love to hear about all of the progress we've made. Skylar, why don't we start with you?
We've helped over 1,200 Guam kids and their families pay for childcare.
And that's over $5.5 million in childcare costs so far. Over 130 after-school and community care programs have received grant funding for programs like swimming.
And cycling.
And soccer. And jiu-jitsu.
We've also graduated 3 cohorts.
In our provider certification program at GCC.
And certified over 75 relative care providers.
Looks like we have a messaging coming from headquarters.
Hi kids, I just want to say congratulations on all your successes this past year.
Thank you, Governor Lou. We couldn't have done it without you.
Keep up the great work.
He's ready for recess.
This ad is paid for with funds administered by the Department of Public Health and Social Services.
The One Micronesia Show, Sundays on the stations and digital platforms of KUAM Communications. Join me, Victoria Spahn, for one-on-one interviews with Micronesians in our region and around the world doing amazing things and representing our community. Plus, I'll be sharing different looks at our diverse cultures, languages, food, and much more. And as a special treat and a way to end the show, we're hooking you up with a musical performance every month with a One Mic Jam Sesh, sharing music from all over the Micronesian region. It's sharing our common world because we are One Micronesia.
The KUAM Care Force and St. Baldrick's Foundation present the return of the Great Shave-a-thon on Saturday, March 18th. We'll be shaving heads to build hope, awareness, and to raise funds in the fight against childhood cancer from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. at Guam Premier outlets in Tamuning. Please gather friends, family, classmates, co-workers, or even total strangers as you show your support to end childhood cancer and brave the shave with us this year. All proceeds raised will benefit the St. Baldrick's Foundation, as well as our local beneficiary, the Edward M. Calvo Cancer Foundation. Special thanks to GPO and the GCC Cosmetology Program. Join us on Saturday, March 18th from 10 to 1. Sign up to be a shavee or just show your support in the fight against childhood cancer. For more information, visit stbaldricks.org/events/Guam.
Only Pizza Hut lets you surround your favorite pizza with greatness. The one and only stuffed crust pizza tempts your taste buds with melted cheese stuffed inside that amazing crust. And at just $18.99 with one topping, the stuffed crust pizza is truly irresistible. So grab your slice of pizza perfection with cheesy goodness baked right into the crust. The stuffed crust pizza, just $18.99 with one topping. Only at Pizza Hut, the island's best.
KUAM News, winner of the 2022 Regional Edward R. Murrow Award for Excellence in Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion for the Culture Club.
Welcome back. We continue our series, Discover Black Heritage, here on KUAM. We've joined NBC in showcasing special stories to commemorate Black History and Heritage Month. Today, we feature another incredible individual.
For me, it's always been about history. One of the things I've loved, I've been a nurse for a very long time, and one of the things I've taken a wonderful opportunity is just to learn and talk and listen.
This is Lorraine Battle, and she's aptly named.
She brings about necessary change through her diverse passions as author, artist, activist, entrepreneur, grandmother, healthcare practitioner, storyteller, innovator, and much, much more. She's a big thinker, broadening perspective as a means of deeper understanding and empowerment. And she says she uses the opportunity of Black History Month to learn and teach.
There's so many things that Black history means for me, for my family, for everyone that I interact with. It primarily comes down to love. Love of history, love of understanding who we are as a people, who we are individually, and that we all make up the greater good.
Her work as a travel nurse brought her from the fighting city of Philadelphia that raised her to the shores of Tumon Bay, where she continues to motivate and inspire.
To be honest, it is not so much a parallel as it is an opportunity for growth. Being here, being amongst the Black community in this has made me feel as though I'm home. And that's been really important to me. I get to have a family here. I get to have friends that come over to the house to celebrate my son's birthday. We get to all go out and have some fun dinner or just having safe conversations on the phone. It's been a wonderful experience and I'm very appreciative for it.
And true to her nature, Lorraine made sure to educate herself about the story of her new island home.
I learned about the history here in Guam, the different people, the different spaces that have come in and out of colonization, bringing it back to slavery with my African American community. I'm also indigenous, so I have Native American community as well. And there's a lot that goes into play, but what it comes down to is family. It comes down to love and protection and caring and reaching out and making sure everyone is okay.
Now, she's also one of the genuinely nicest people in the world, masterfully weaving between topics in our beachside conversation, from social issues to telecommunications, to food, to knowing how to spot, and more importantly, how to avoid local fire ants, to shamelessly flexing her to-the-bone fandom for her beloved hometown Eagles in the Super Bowl. I need a score prediction.
There is no score. We're winning. There's nothing else to say.
Close game, blowout.
It doesn't make a difference. A good game is a good game as long as we win.
And one of the many cherished memories Lorraine's made as a transplanted islander is seeing the island custom of extending hospitality to everyone in everyday practice.
I also feel very protected. People will stop and ask me, are you okay? Do you need help? Where can I help you go to? Or did you go to this place? And make sure you get some food from there. Or my sister makes such and such. My tattoo and my son's tattoo, we didn't know where to go. And you know, being on Guam, there's a lot of tattoo places. I was referred because I wound up taking care of a patient there for grandfather, and the family wanted to give me something. They wanted to give me money or give me food, and I said, no, I'm fine. This is what I do. I love doing it. First question was, well, what do you need? You know what? I need a tattoo artist. Their cousin is the one that did our tattoo. That's the Guam community. Everyone takes care of each other, and I'm really happy to be here.
She's well-read, well-traveled, well-versed, well-connected, and well aware of the experiences of her ancestors, as well as the legacy that's not only been left for her, but of the positive impact that she's making every day.
Two things. One, know your history, and then be very well aware that you are history. We are history. As much as we're celebrating this wonderful opportunity for Black history, we're making history today, having these safe conversations with you, the community that we're building here on Guam and other spaces that we're all traveling into. We are history. So we can't keep looking to the past except to learn for understanding that we are also going to be the past for future.
And as she's always done throughout her remarkable life, Lorraine leaves a lasting lesson and a charge for the community, which resonates with us all.
It's not just small communities that make up the world, but it's all of us together as one. And moving forward with that, our communities will all be greater for it.
Well, stay connected. Still to come on the Hotspot, we have House to Home.
Get up-to-the-minute news, plus access to alerts, streaming radio, promotions, and more on your mobile device by downloading the KUAM News mobile app, available at the App Store now.
21's MVP, nobody like me. Blessings, 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 all come from life lessons. Wanna know what's next? Keep guessing. Go time, no time for questions. Throw chakra on, show off. Stepping out slow mo, you can see the glow up light.
Buenas Zenhafides. As you all know, our islands had a very successful year, and I'd love to hear about all of the progress we've made. Skylar, why don't we start with you?
We've helped over 1,200 Guam kids and their families pay for childcare.
And that's over $5.5 million in childcare costs so far. Over 130 after-school and community care programs have received grant funding for programs like swimming.
And cycling.
And soccer.
And jiu-jitsu.
We've also graduated 3 cohorts in our provider certification program at GCC.
And certified over 75 relative care providers.
Looks like we have a message incoming from headquarters.
Hi kids, I just want to say congratulations on all your successes this past year.
Thank you, Governor Lou. We couldn't have done it without you.
Keep up the great work.
He's ready for recess.
This ad is paid for with funds administered by the Department of Public Health and Social Services.
The One Micronesia Show, Sundays on the stations and digital platforms of KUAM Communications. Join me, Victoria Spahn, for one-on-one interviews with Micronesians in our region and around the world doing amazing things and representing our community. Plus, I'll be sharing different looks at our diverse cultures, languages, food, and much more. And as a special treat and a way to end the show, we're hooking you up with a musical performance every month with a One Mic Jam Sesh, sharing music from all over the Micronesian region. It's sharing our common world because we are One Micronesia.
The KUAM Care Force and St. Baldrick's Foundation present the return of the Great Shave-a-thon on Saturday, March 18th. We'll be shaving heads to build hope, awareness, and to raise funds in the fight against childhood cancer from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. at Guam Premier Outlets in Tamuning. Please gather friends, family, classmates, co-workers, or even total strangers as you show your support to end childhood cancer and brave the shave with us this year. All proceeds raised will benefit the St. Baldrick's Foundation, as well as our local beneficiary, the Edward M. Calvo Cancer Foundation. Special thanks to GPO and the GCC Cosmetology Program. Join us on Saturday, March 18th from 10 to 1. Sign up to be a shavee or just show your support in the fight against childhood cancer. For more information, visit stbaldricks.org/events/Guam.
Only Pizza Hut lets you surround your favorite pizza with greatness. The one and only stuffed crust pizza tempts your taste buds with melted cheese stuffed inside that amazing crust. And at just $18.99 with one topping, the stuffed crust pizza is truly irresistible. So grab your slice of pizza perfection with cheesy goodness baked right into the crust. The stuffed crust pizza, just $18.99 with one topping. Only at Pizza Hut, the island's best.
Subscribe to our KUAM News Digest, our weekly email newsletter with all kinds of information straight to your inbox. Just subscribe and we'll make sure to keep you informed and entertained with news from the KUAM News team, what to watch on NBC and CBS, and the latest promotions from KUAM Communications. Go to KUAM.com, click on the newsletter tab at the top of the homepage, register, and you're all set. Brought to you by Uno Go, Guam On Demand.
House to Home, presented by Remax Diamond Realty.
Half a day, everybody, here on House to Home, where Liz, Gina, and myself, Jason, we like to give you certain things. We like to give you information. We like to give you knowledge. We like to give you options. We sometimes even like to give you coffee and cupcake tips, which we may do at the end of this episode. But right now, we're actually doing the third of those ladies. So we would like to give people the benefit of choice. And when you have options, I'm sure, Gina, a lot of people, you know, as we say on the show, you know, it is good for your credit to get into debt and then pay that debt down. And certainly if you own a home, that's the American dream. That's a Guamanian dream. And it has the benefit of equity. But most people just think, okay, I got to wait until interest rates are abysmally low and then I pounce at that and everything. And people just like to go for fixed rate because if you're someone like myself, risk is really, really scary, but you actually...
The One Micronesia Show, Sundays on the stations and digital platforms of KUAM Communications. Join me, Victoria Spahn, for one-on-one interviews with Micronesians in our region and around the world doing amazing things and representing our community. Plus, I'll be sharing different looks at our diverse cultures, languages, food, and much more. And as a special treat and a way to end the show, we're hooking you up with a musical performance every month with a One Mic Jam Sesh, sharing music from all over the Micronesian region. It's sharing our common world because we are one Micronesia.
And that's our show.
We're living in a new world with new ways of communicating, connecting, and moving through life.
Every day seems to be marked with change, and with all these changes, you need trusted people you can rely on for advice and insights about the things that really matter.
Let Gina and I walk you through everything you need to know about real estate, from buying to selling to renting, and all the details in between.
Join us with Jason Solis every week on House to Home.
House to Home every Tuesday on KUAM News Extra, presented by Remax Diamond Realty.
Local Music Mashup. For the first 3 Thursdays of every month, sit back